Like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Boy got time, no cap. Made a few chats, but they all in the raps. Had a few friends, but they suck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride to the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen a rap on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We got a good stream for y'all. Miami Dolphins will be aggressive in free agency. What would success look like? You know, there's a lot of talk about this free agency, who we should get, what we should get. But I want to talk about what success would look like. And what I mean by that is when free agency is over and we have signed this roster, what would constitute success? If we did X, Y, and Z, that would be success. If we don't do X, Y, and Z, it would be failure. We're going to talk about that and more. Hit the like button. Again, we're growing as a channel. Make sure you let your friends and family members know about TDPHINSTALK. We continue to do bigger and better things. I want to say thank you to all those who have always continually supported this channel and what we're doing in our growth of becoming just a great place for the community to come and talk real Miami Dolphins football. Not all the glorification, not all of the, lies, and basically we want to keep it real over here, man. That's really what it's become. Just a safe haven to talk real, whether it's positive or negative. Be real about our team. Be real about our team. We have struggled for over 25 years now to do anything right. And there is a group of people that expect for us to continue to just cheer them on and follow them blindly and just love them anyway without any criticism. I don't know where they do that at. That's called insanity to me. That's called blind leading the blind. Or to a degree, a sickness. A sickness. It absolutely makes no sense. And the same people wouldn't apply that same logic in their life. They wouldn't. It's like going to work and you make $20 an hour and you're living paycheck to paycheck. And your job tells you, hey, we're going to cut your salary to $16 an hour. Now you can't afford your bills. And you're struggling for months. And then they come back and say, we're going to cut you to $12 an hour. What they want you to believe is you shouldn't complain about it. They wouldn't apply those same principles in their personal life, but they expect, if you're a real fan, that you deal with the stupidity of our organization sometimes. The ignorance and dumb decisions of our organization sometimes. It's not happening. At the end of the day, this is a place we're going to call out the dumb decisions. We're going to talk about where we're going wrong so we'll know why we're wrong instead of out here making these blind excuses of why we're not winning. Instead of making the blind excuses of why we're not winning. Sloth said, aggressive on who? Everyone good already gone. No, they're not. I don't want to see anything but us going and getting Watson. Watson is success, and without him, we fail. I understand that, Sloth, but there does come a time where you realize they're not going to make the best decision for the team. And they've already made a decision that they are going to try to build around Tua Tagovailoa. And we're going to talk about what success would look like building around him. There, like I've told y'all before, there is a 0.0000001% chance that Watson will be a Dolphin, in my opinion, because we don't have an organization who's willing to do what it takes to get it right. We just don't. And before we get into what success will look like, I'll go ahead and give y'all my true thoughts. This is a pivotal moment in Dolphins history. A pivotal moment in Dolphin history. And it's a moment where we obviously have a decision to make, and it looks like we made a decision. Okay? And since we made that decision, if it doesn't go right, who should be held responsible for it? If it doesn't go right, who should be held responsible for it? Excuse me. Because it should be the same person that gets credit if it goes right. Who should be held responsible if the path they're going doesn't work out? And if it does work out, that same person should get credit. I have been thinking about that for the last 24 hours. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I've come up with my personal conclusion of who should be held responsible if it doesn't work out, and they should get all the credit if it does work out. There's two people that will be responsible for this, and y'all not going to like one of them. I can't believe I came up with this conclusion, but me sitting down really thinking about it, we all know one of those people is Stephen Ross. That's a given. He has to own everything, okay? But outside of Stephen Ross, there is one person who's going to be held accountable for this decision. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this because I really dislike this man now, but it's not Chris Grier. It's actually not going to be Chris Grier, even though, man, I think he should have been fired, but whatever. This situation right here, Chris Grier is not going to be, I don't think he should be held responsible. It's going to fall on, unfortunately, because I do like him, Mike McDaniel. It is going to fall on Mike McDaniel. Why do I say that if it doesn't work out? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the only reason Mike McDaniel got this job, and remember, he was like our fourth option. He was like our fourth option. Nobody else interviewed the man, by the way. He was our fourth option at coach. Our other options went somewhere else or went back to college or pretty much turned us down. Couldn't even get Sean Payton. They wanted to. They admitted that. Greer said it. They wanted Dayball, couldn't get him. He chose New York. They wanted Sean Payton before that. Couldn't get him. They said, don't even bother. They wanted Harbaugh. He said, man, I'm going back to college with all this drama. And we might have wanted a few others, but regardless, at best case scenario, Mike McDaniel was our fourth option, and nobody else even interviewed the man. But the reason why he's going to be held responsible, let me break that down, and salute to Nathaniel Northfleet becoming a member of the channel. Welcome to the family, man, with the MVP status. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate the love. And Made Paid, been a member for 10 months, said if Watson wins anywhere, fire everyone. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a second, too. I got to elaborate on if Watson wins anywhere. I got to talk about that to set some things straight. But anyway, let's get back to Mike McDaniel. The reason why Mike McDaniel has to own responsibility is because, number one, I believe they hired this man because he told them he can fix Tua. That's number one. And nothing's wrong with that. That's not an issue. But here's where the issue comes with Mike McDaniel. When Chris Greer was asked about Watson and he said the door is shut, he didn't stop right there. He didn't say that door is shut. We're not pursuing Watson anymore. End of discussion. Move on. He didn't say that. He made sure that he was very specific, clearing himself. He said that door is shut. I mean, the coaches mold over a lot of film and they feel like they can, get the best out of Tua. He immediately, I want you to think about what he said. He took it off of himself. That door is shut. The coach and coaches, they mold over a lot of film and they feel like they can. He shifted it. He told y'all why the door was shut. He told you. Go look at the interview. He told you why the door was shut. It wasn't just we shut that door, screw him, bye. We don't want him. We shut that door. He said that door is shut. He said the coaches mold over film, tons of film, as a matter of fact. He didn't just say film. He said a lot of film, and they felt they can get the most out of Tua. They can make it work with him. So when you say the coaches, at the end of the day, it still comes down to Mike McDaniel. He's responsible for all coaches, including himself. But there's a catch-22 to this. I can't fault him. He may have not gotten the job had he said anything else. Had he come in and said, yeah, man, I don't think Tua may be it. I mean, we'll try our best. If we got an opportunity to get better, let's go for it. He didn't say that. He said exactly what it would take to get the job. I can't knock him for that. In an employment world, people lie all the time to get a job. Half of the people watching this stream that have a job, you may have not been 100% truthful in your interview, but you made sure you sold yourself and made yourself look good. You told them in an interview that you would do with a smiling face what you complain about doing today. It's just the truth. I can't get mad at him for that. He's going to tell them whatever they want to hear, and they went with that. And I'm sure they were the only ones that told him. He was the only ones that told him that. But the problem is, there comes a point where you've been hired. And since you got hired, you have a decision to make. And I know I can't expect them to do this. But you have to stick with what you originally came in and said that you'd be able to do. And since that's why you were hired, if you do not succeed in that area, you deserve to get fired. It's just that simple. You said that you'd be able to deliver this. And if he doesn't work out, then you deserve to get fired. It's not a case of if he doesn't work out, then we'll try to go get you somebody else. We hired you because you said you'd be able to do this. I'm still looking for the contract details too, by the way. Hold on. I might have it. Y'all give me a second. Give me 1 second. I think I might have his contract. No, they're not giving us the amount, man. I know it's a 4-year contract. I got to see what that is. All I know is Deshaun Watson wants to be a Miami Dolphin, and the only team he is willing to remove the trade clause was Miami. It's time. No. If they say they out on him, he's going to have to reevaluate, and now he's looking at all his options. But again, let's get back to this. He basically said he can come in and fix Tua, and that's what he's going to be tied to. That's what he's going to be tied to. It's that simple. But it's interesting to me that if he doesn't fix Tua and they move on, I'm pretty confident that they won't fire him. They won't fire him. And that's interesting to me. And we'll have that conversation another day if it needs to be had. But that's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. If this path that we're taking fails, unfortunately, he's responsible. Because Chris Grier told us that we've shut the door on Watson because the coaches mulled over a lot of film and they determined they can make it work with Tua. It was their call. It just sucks because he had to stick with his guns because that's what got him hired. Even if deep down and this is the frustrating part about it. Even if this man feels like he can make it work with Tua, that don't mean we're going to win a Super Bowl. He knows that. But if you were to ask him, which guy would give you the better chance to make it work? I'm sure he'll give us a PC answer, but he'd be a liar if he ain't saying Deshaun Watson. He'd be a liar if he doesn't say that. He knows that. And that brings me to my next point. All of these narratives that are just straight lies, man, we got to stop lying to ourselves and other people to justify our opinion. Nothing's wrong with your opinion, but you cannot use a lie to justify it. Tua should have been fixed already. How many chances we giving him? As many as they feel they need to. E&M, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. This is definitely the home of the anti-Tua club and all the Tua hater followers, if that's what you want to say. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like you're a part of the party. What's up, bro? Anyway, we got to stop lying. These false narratives to justify our opinion. Just have your opinion and end it right there. Stop spreading lies to justify your opinion. For instance, all of these comments on Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Watson ain't going to fix everything. We're not one guy away. We know that. For the record, and they're going to keep bringing this up, and they only bring it up because they have no valid argument. For the freaking record, if we traded for Deshaun Watson, that is not the end-all be for our formula to win a Super Bowl. Everybody should know that. And if you don't know that, please understand my position. If we trade for Deshaun Watson, it is not the only piece we need to win a Super Bowl. Period. We are not miraculously going to win a Super Bowl just because we trade for Deshaun Watson. No, I don't know anybody who's ever said that, but y'all keep making that a narrative like that's what people are saying. Nobody's saying that. You would need to trade for Deshaun Watson and bring in a couple pieces in areas that we needed. All people are saying is you would need less pieces with Watson than you'll need with Tua to make up for the difference in skill. These lying narratives as if that's what we're trying to say. Nobody ever said that. You still want to go get some pieces on this team with a Deshaun Watson. And then the extended lie is as if we wouldn't be able to if we brought him in because of his salary. That's a lie too. The Saints are in a negative salary cap, and yet they're in the mix for Deshaun Watson right now because everybody knows whatever team he goes to, they're looking to restructure his contract and convert a lot of his salary into signing bonus. And what are you allowed to do with signing bonus money? You're able to spread it out over the years instead of letting it impact 1 year. And you give more guaranteed money. That's how that works. So let me give you an example. You would bring him in and you would say, hey, the 4 years or whatever left on your contract, we're going to turn the same money into 7 years, but we're going to convert $100 million into signing bonus. So what does that do? It gives you the same 4-year contract. Now you get to spread the $100 million out over 7 years, lowering the annual cap hit. And then in 3 years, you will renegotiate a deal for his extension. That's what all these teams are doing. Patrick Mahomes, he ain't even played on his new deal yet, and they've already restructured it twice. His money ain't even kicked in yet, but they've already restructured it twice. People always saying stuff and they don't even know what they're talking about, don't know the ins and outs of how it works. Everybody knows when you sign Deshaun Watson, you're going to restructure his deal and give him a massive signing bonus because you never had to, because Houston did. So if you do it, it doesn't hurt you because that's what you would have done if you had drafted him and gave him a deal anyway. And do you know what a $35 million cap hit turns into against your cap if you restructure the way that I said? $100 million guaranteed and converted into signing bonus. This man might count $7 to $10 million versus the cap. You could adjust his to where he counts less than Tua. It's pretty easy for the simple fact that they already have dead cap over there. He's technically was supposed to be like 42 million, but the 35 is because they got to pay the dead cap. And if we restructure, we could bring his down even lower. You had quarterbacks on $40 million deals last year, only counting 10 million against the cap. Because they put it all in the signing bonus and put them voidable years. Now later down the road, it's going to catch up to you, but you want to go for the win now. So all of this stuff, it's a straight out lie, these narratives. You would be able to build around Tua and Deshaun Watson. Now, anybody with any common sense, if you could build around both of them, which would you rather? Forget who you'd rather, because that's still a debate. People are going to be delusional. They're going to be delusional, okay? Forget which would you rather. Which one gives you the better probability of getting to a Super Bowl and possibly winning it? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. In this narrative also, and when I break it down like this for everybody, to show you that we know you can't win with just Watson, you need to build around him, but then they bring in you can't bring him around him if you bring him in at that salary. That ain't true either. When you corner them and you show them all the reasons why they're wrong, you know what their final pushback is? Well, the reality is I still think Watson and Tua are the same guys, because if you put more around Tua, he'd be just as good as Watson. That's their final comeback to me. That's their final comeback. Well, I think they're the same guy. I think Tua would be just as good as him if you put the things around him. For the freaking record, Tua will never be Deshaun Watson. Y'all need to stop that stuff, man. Y'all stop it. He will never be him. And for the record, as a freaking extension of what I'm saying, please understand, just like Tua got an upside, do you realize Watson still has an upside? The man is just, oh my gosh, what, he played 3 seasons? He's young too. He still might, he might have not even hit his peak. Y'all forgetting that. This man still could be better. Y'all think just because he was that good out the gate, that's supposed to be his peak? He could actually be better. And I'm going to even triple down on what I'm saying by saying Tua Tagovailoa hasn't even reached his floor yet. Sitting here telling me Tua could be just as good as him if you put stuff around him. Tua ain't even reached his floor. Tua ain't even hit Deshaun Watson's floor. Facts. You ain't never seen Deshaun Watson perform the way Tua's performed, even in college. You ain't never seen Deshaun Watson perform that low. This man ain't even touched Deshaun Watson's floor yet. And we sitting here having this debate. And the homie just asked me genuinely, and I appreciate that. He said, so are you for or against Tua? I'm confused. I'm not against Tua at all. I am for Tua, believe it or not. If I had to be. And they are forcing us to be. And when Deshaun Watson gets traded somewhere else, it is what it is. I'm for him, but that doesn't stop me from recognizing if we had the opportunity to get Deshaun Watson, we made a big mistake. That don't mean I dislike Tua. That don't mean I got an issue with him. I'm not fond of his game on the field, but there's levels to this. This man ain't no Deshaun Watson, nor has he even scratched Deshaun Watson's floor yet. Like, has anybody ever thought about that? Not only ain't he Deshaun Watson, and I don't believe he'll ever be, but the truth of the matter is the man hasn't even reached Deshaun Watson's floor. Has anybody thought about that? There are levels to this. You ain't even touched the man's floor yet. You have never seen Deshaun Watson perform at the level Tua is performing at right now. Ever. With a holistic all-around game at the quarterback position. You have never. And the man ain't even done growing yet. This might not even be his peak yet. He's coming into his prime. The man was coming into his prime. Led the NFL statistically in almost every category before the season where he had to sit out for allegations that couldn't even be chargeable. Nobody is against Tua. It's just hard to believe based on what we see. Tua ain't it. What you see is what you get, and it's ugly bad. And we got to shift this narrative about Tua. It's not about Tua. It's the fact that we have a rare opportunity. Screw Tua. I don't know. I mean, put him to the side. This ain't about him. Hey, Tua, I love you. Just sit over here for a second while we talk business over here. Let's take Tua out of this. They want to make it about Tua to make you seem like this big hater so that they could try to diminish your message because they have a personal agenda of wanting him to be the guy even if he never lives up to it. This ain't about him. This is about the rare opportunity we have in front of us to maximize our potential to stop being the league's laughing stock. At some point, you got to make a real move. You can't keep making these hopeful ones. These low probability ones hoping that it turns into a big gain. We got to stop trying to freaking predict the next Amazon. We got to stop that mess. Because out of every Amazon, there are literally thousands of non-Amazons. If Greer's really 100% in on Tua, I need him to max out the salary cap. It's just frustrating, y'all, because I love this team and I rooted for this team every single year. Y'all remember when I first started this channel, I would live stream games not even at home. Some of y'all don't even know that, TDPHINSTALK. When I would live stream on game day from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., phone in my freaking hand, freaking got carpal tunnel by the end of the night. I'm sitting there giving y'all my experience of breakfast on game day. I ain't cut the stream. Oh, we on our way to the game. Oh my gosh, look at the stadium, y'all. We just arrived in parking. Now we tailgating, having the parties. Oh, we on our way in the stadium. Oh, we in the stadium. Let's go get this W. Oh man, this team just beat us 63-3. Oh, I'm hurt, but it's all right, man. We gonna get them next week. And all in I done did my time. I done been in this. I done been in the trenches. And all these fake fans want to sit here and question me because I'm being very critical of this team. I don't deserve this. Neither do you. But if you want to keep taking it, keep on freaking taking it. Let them abuse you all you want. I'm going to speak to high heavens because I care about this team. And I'm going to continue to tell them over and over and over, you are making the gravest mistake of this franchise history. You thought Drew Brees was a mistake? This is going to end up 10 times bigger. This is going to end up 10 times bigger. That don't make me less of a fan to recognize that now. I'm just supposed to be blindly saying, oh, well, we didn't go get a great quarterback and, we're going to hope on the next one. Some of y'all same people with these same sentiments. If they did some stupid thing like cut Tua today and brought back Rosen and said, we're going to build around him, I want to hear what some of y'all same people would say. See, because you're hypocrites. You're hypocrites. You say that only because your blind love for this man, Tua Tagovailoa. But if they cut that man today, and the sad thing is, some of y'all are going with these people, and it's sad because they've even told y'all in all these comment sections, if the Dolphins trade him, I'm no longer going to be a fan of this team. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. They've even told y'all that, but nobody said nothing about that. If they trade him for Deshaun Watson, I can't watch this team anymore. So they can give you every level of abuse, but a man who's been accused of something, not found guilty, but he end up not even getting charged, can be the reason why you never support the team again. But what they've done to you over the last 25 years ain't sufficient enough. What they've done to you over the last 25 years ain't sufficient enough, but if they cut Tua, that's enough for you. And you tell me, I don't need to be a fan? Oh, I'm 10 times the fan some of y'all are that have that opinion. 10 times the fan some of y'all are. Because ain't nothing this team ever did ever broke me from wanting to even consider not being a fan. Not a thing they have ever done. Even this blasphemy right here. You know how many people I talk to in this community that tell me this right here? This is the offense that I'm not going to be a fan of them no more. And all y'all who love Miami sports, especially y'all Heat fans, you heard what Udonis Haslam said. Y'all heard what UD said, and he right. I'm from the crib. I love my team. But I'm going to have to root for another Florida team. Because they've constantly did us like this. They've constantly done us like this. So don't tell me I'm being negative. I'm being appropriate. Some of y'all need to step up and call them out because they will forever do this if we don't hold them accountable. If the message ain't nothing but the one I'm giving. That's why they never care. That's why they always get it wrong and feel no consequence of it because we allow them. We allow them. Other teams will get all in and out of their team. They'll get a team to business, and that's why they always making big moves. That's why they always making big moves. And the crazy thing is, the Dolphins organization sees a win-win situation regardless, even if this ain't the best decision, because they've lost a lot of Dolphin fans, but they not hurting because they picked up fans from the simple fact Alabama and Hawaii don't have a football team, and now they belong to the Dolphins. Anybody who's not tired of the crap, unless you just became a fan in the last 10 years, all y'all who done been a fan for over 20 years, and you know what's crazy? I don't even know why I'm tripping. I don't usually argue with people that's been a fan longer than 20 years. It's only the people that's been those newfound fans. First of all, half of them are Alabama fans anyway. They were never even Dolphin fans until 2 years ago. Let's get that straight. And the other half are Dolphin fans that are so young that they don't get it. It's typically like the 27 and younger community. That's who really be infiltrating these comment sections, telling you you're wrong. If you over 30 years old and your only team you ever loved was the Dolphins, and you've been with it 15 or more years, now some of y'all may have became a football fan 10 years ago and you support the Dolphins. You ain't included. You don't even know what it feels like. You ain't got sunk into it yet. All you know is the Tannehill era. One guy. That's all you know. Some of y'all didn't even know who Pat White was until I joked about it all the time. Some of you have no idea who Pat White was. John Beck. Some of y'all know none of those guys. If you don't know if you didn't watch those guys on Sunday, you shouldn't even be in this conversation. You shouldn't even be in this conversation. You came a fan after 2012. No disrespect to you as a fan, but you ain't feeling enough heartache yet. Exactly. Cleo Lemon. If you ain't been a fan before 2012, you ain't felt enough heartache yet. And that's no disrespect to you as a fan. Love all our fans. Even the ones I'm disagreeing with now. I still love you. But you're being bamboozled. You're being freaking bamboozled. You really are. Oh my gosh. I'm telling y'all. I'm freaking Nostradamus right now. I'm telling y'all. I know I don't even want to say those words because it just make me sound like I got this superiority complex. I ain't trying to. I'm trying to be humble, but God dog, I want my team to win, and I'm tired of the same thing over and over. I am telling y'all, we are tripping. If Watson was never an issue, you would never, well, I would still be like, man, we got to figure this out. I think Tua might be, I'll be optimistic. I'll be hopeful for Tua. You wouldn't hear none of this. But God dog, we had an opportunity that is unreal, and it's here, and it was here, and I have to scream it to the top of my lungs until it's just completely gone. Because I'm telling y'all, you don't realize what some of y'all don't even know about the Drew Brees debacle. All you know is we could have had Brees. You don't know what that meant. This is the new situation. Imagine 10 years from now, you look back and be like, can y'all believe we could have had Watson? And now look at us still. Do y'all remember back when we literally had him at the trade deadline? We understand why we didn't, but we shut the door the week before he was cleared. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember that guy Tua who used to be in the league? We chose him over him. This is crazy. But he said, you were wrong all along, clown. I was wrong. I knew we were getting Watson. I was told from within the organization we were getting Watson. Yes. They were wrong too. I was wrong. The whole organization was wrong. Ross thought we were getting Watson. Greer thought we were getting Watson. Flores thought we were getting Watson. We were pursuing him. We tried to tell him to settle at the deadline so we can finish it. Didn't happen. And here we are today, and I can't believe we shut the door. Yeah, we were all wrong. But some of y'all are so ridiculous to realize there's different types of being wrong. Everybody knows now, it's been proven, we were going after Watson. Ain't no more debate of that. And I kept screaming to the top of my lungs, we going to get this man, and we're going to get him. So yeah, technically it makes me wrong because we didn't get him. But we were getting him. Nobody's debating that anymore. And if you are, I'll let everybody else have choice words for you. It's ridiculous. But the sad part about it is this team is wrong. Somebody said I jinxed us. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. What does success look like in this free agency building around Tua Tagovailoa? I think we're all in unison that we need at least 2 quality offensive linemen because we can't keep on dealing with rookies. We need 2 quality offensive linemen. I think the overall cost of the 2 linemen, whenever you hear everybody like, oh, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. Nothing's guaranteed. But I think that we need a right tackle and a quality guard. Some would argue a right tackle and a left tackle. But in whatever combination they feel necessary, we need 2 quality offensive linemen. I think out of those 2 quality O linemen, based off of what's available in the market, in the players that's available, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to cost us about $30 to $35 million. $30 to $35 million. Now, based off of our cap space right now, $30 to $35 million plus holding on to about $7 million for the draft picks, that pretty much takes all your salary cap space. But you do have about 6-7 players that you could free up another $20 million. We don't have anybody on the team that we can truly restructure a contract to save massive money. So it is what it is. So we'd have about $25 million left over after those 2 linemen. Now, everybody wants a big name receiver. It looks like those things may not happen. If they do, I'd be surprised. But Allen Robinson, that rumor yesterday that he wants Miami, but he doesn't want to play with Tua, I never got a confirmation on that, as I told y'all on Twitter. I've made some calls, and nobody can confirm that rumor that's out there. Okay? That Allen Robinson wants Miami, but he doesn't want to play with Tua. The 2 people that I trust that I spoke to, none of them confirmed that. Now, I heard some other people I spoke to said, yeah, that's what's going on. But every time I hear stuff like that, I reach out to the people I know. No confirmation of Allen Robinson saying he don't want to play with Tua. That's just so I'm not saying it's not true, but it might just be somebody trying to just put Tua down. Okay. But we have about 20 million left. But at that point, you still need to fill your running back room. You still need to get you a receiver weapon or 2. And you will still need to address the linebacker position. You will still need to address the defensive end position. And you still need to address the situation with Xavier Howard. Now, you're not going to do all that with 20 million. You couldn't do all that with 45, 50 million, to be honest with you. So this is why I believe they're going to reevaluate the O-line situation, because 30 to 35 million to get the 2 linemen that you want is a steep price. I'm going to read y'all super chats after I'm done giving my spew. I don't want to keep stopping and going. That's a pretty penny. So this is where the Dolphins may have to adjust. Instead of spending 30 to 35 million on 2 great linemen, they may have to go get some middle of the road guys that are solid though, but not as great. They're just solid. And they might have to spend between 20 and 25 million on 2 really good linemen. It ain't going to be the names everybody want, but they may be some solid guys that hopefully they work out. But that'll help us save about $10 to $15 million to do some of the other things we need to do. So the reality is, in this free agency, we're not just going to go all in spending crazy like everybody thinks. They have to be methodical. They can go real heavy with 1, 2, maybe 3 guys, but then the other guys, they are getting the cheapest they can get. They may be big names, but they may be at the bottom of the total pole because of their age and injury history. So you're going to come up short somewhere. So when you say 2 O-linemen, running back, wide receiver, getting X taken care of, defensive end, linebacker, that's 7 positions, and you're really going to be able to go heavy off of 3 of them. So I got to ask y'all, which 3 would you go heavy on if you could go heavy on them? Which 3 areas out of those 7 would you go heavy on? Now, the super chat said, I was told the same thing, TD. Texans changed the deal in the last few hours before the deadline. They want to do another first round or in 2 more players. If we don't make this happen, it's Breeze 2.0. We need Alonzo Highsmith as the next GM. He's a Miami native, Columbus High UM alum. We need someone whose feet been in the soil too. UM went to grab Mario Cristobal. I'll never be opposed to that, but I think they try to stay away from those things, honestly. They try to make sure that from a branding standpoint, they do not connect the 2. which I don't understand why. It actually would be good. Okay, it would be good. Somebody says salary cap is fake. It's not fake. Y'all stop listening to these people on Twitter saying it ain't a real thing. How can the Saints be negative 75 million and now they pursuing Deshaun Watson? It's a real thing. It's just that some teams want to win now. So what they do is they're setting themselves up 3-4 years from now to have the worst team in the NFL because they can't afford nothing. Imagine having a $250 million salary cap 4 years from now, and you got $120 million in dead cap for guys that pretty much ain't even on the team anymore, maybe. They know that they're setting themselves up at some point to go through a massive rebuild, but they're trying to give themselves 2-3 more years to win now. Guess who's getting hit with that now? They're seeing the early stages of it. Guess what team's getting hit with that now? Because 4 years ago, they signed 4 years, 3 years, 2 years ago, they kept signing their best players on 7-8 year deals so that they can have dead cap in the future instead of, guess what team's dealing with that now? And I'll prove it to you because they sitting here trading their best players. Some of their best weapons they're trading now. Ask yourself why they can't afford them. 3 of their best players they talk about moving. The Dallas Cowboys. I told y'all that 3 years ago. Next season, the Chiefs going to start doing it. Next year, the Chiefs going to start doing it. The Seahawks was supposed to start doing it next year, but you know what they did? They hurried up and got off the quarterback. Where are all my people who've been on this channel for 3 years? Haven't I already gave y'all the game and I told y'all which teams in the next 2 to 3 years going to be purging their roster because they can't afford nobody? Where are all the people that been here for 3 years on this channel at least? You know what I'm talking about. I called it, didn't I? I told y'all because I studied the salary cap. I studied most of these team salary caps because I determined whether you can win with a big name quarterback or not. And the conclusion I came up with is you can win with the big money quarterback, but you got a small window. Once that window closed, your best bet is getting to the playoffs every year and losing because they'll never be able to afford to put everything around you. You got a small window. That's why all these quarterbacks on rookie deals are making the playoffs and making noise. Soon as they get their money, wild card, just missed it, first round exit. We already did the research on this. And the only reason the Miami Dolphins would be able to absorb it, they did it backwards, which I never considered a few years ago, but it would work for us now if we had a high-paid quarterback. You know why? Because we didn't expect to have so many impact players on a rookie deal. We didn't expect half of the starters on our team to be on a rookie deal. Think about it. I want y'all to think about that. How many starters on our roster are on rookie deals barely getting paid? That's the only way you can afford it. And we only got about 2 to 3 more years of that. We're in a window. But we're not taking advantage of it. We're not taking advantage of it. We're not taking advantage of it. This was the time right here. And that's why first of all, that's why they were trying to get Watson anyway. This was the time to grab him and bam, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Because we're in a window. Chris Greer knows what time it is. He know that now that window is an extension because of Tua. And then on top of it, let's hypothetically say Tua does. Let's just hypothetically say he balls out so well in the market, even he goes up to 40 something $40 million, right? The problem is now you're out of that window because everybody right behind him, they're going to want a deal. And then y'all going to go right back into that complaining y'all did 3 years ago. Why do we let all of our best players go? Because we got too many first-round picks. We got too many first-round picks. All these first-round picks going to be due real big money. Think about even the second-round picks, when Javon Holland, if he keep playing like this, think about what his contract going to be. Are they going to be able to keep that? Because if they end up paying him top safety money, then that means as soon as Xavier Howard and Byron and all those guys, they gone, we're going to be struggling trying to figure out our corners. We're going to go right back to what it was about 16 years ago when we out here talk about, oh, we need corners. Maybe we need to draft them, and we go get Vontae Davis and Sean Smith. Remember that? We go through cycles. And I know why we go through the cycles, because I've studied this team. I've studied the money. I've studied how they tried to build it. I've studied the process that they've tried to take. And we're going to find ourselves in the old cycle. Christian Wilkins, the 6th rated interior defensive lineman in the entire NFL, which means when he becomes a free agent, he might be the number 1 free agent available at his position. I want y'all to think about that. If he's the 6th ranked one in the NFL and he balls out this year, when he becomes a free agent, he's going to be the number 1 at his position probably. That's free his year. You franchise tag that, you still eating a heavy bullet. You give him his real big deal, you eating a heavy bullet. Think about everybody we done brought in over the years, y'all. Jalen Phillips, when those guys come up. Waddle, when they come up. I know it's a few years from now, but we got to make decisions on 5th-year options in 2 years. That ends Tua's contract. We got to be making decisions on a 5th-year option when Tua needs a new deal if he makes it. It'd be interesting. We'll see how it works out. Robert Hunt, he gonna be doing a few if he continues to play well, right? If any of these young linemen that we still have work out, they gonna be due. Mike Gesicki just got tagged. What you gonna do next year? He still ain't even get a long-term deal. Why you think they so easy to basically keep on ignoring Emmanuel Ogbah? Richard said, but TD, it's the same for the other 31 teams. That's what makes the NFL great. But Richard, this is the difference between us and the other 31 teams. And not all of them. Some of them are just as dumb in their decision-making. But here's the difference. The Chiefs could have taken this approach too, but instead they went for broke. Even though, of course, they solidified their quarterback, but they went for broke wanting to win now, spending all the big money on free agents and everything. You think they drafted everybody in the building? Buffalo could have did the same thing. They could have drafted and started a slow, methodical approach, but they're going for broke. Same thing with Seattle at the beginning of Russell Wilson's career. Quarterback ain't even a first-round pick, but they went for broke. They did everything they could because they had a window. Everybody ain't following that direction. And I can't use any team Tom Brady on because he automatically give him a pay cut. So it's a different scenario. But even then, treat his pay cut like a young player. They go for broke in that opportunity. When you see that opportunity, you go for broke. When you got a quarterback and that quarterback is low salary and he playing great, you go for broke. You only go for broke if you know the quarterback playing great. Because you don't go for broke just to waste it on a guy the Browns, they went for broke and they wasting it. They are wasting it because they got Baker. They wasting it. San Francisco wasted every time because of Jimmy G. Wasting it. Straight up wasting it. And even if you don't win a Super Bowl, these teams that are going for broke with the young quarterback, at least they've been in the playoffs. At least they've had some level of success. And guess what? New team just realized that. We got the freaking quarterback. We needed to go all in right now and do more. The Chargers. They finna do everything they can to just go for broke and make a complete roster. Kick money down the road if they have to. Spend more than they have. Restructure some guys. Once you know you got a quarterback, you go for broke because a Super Bowl is not guaranteed, as Dan Marino would teach you. So instead of methodically, slowly going for one to build a team, it takes too long because you'll always have to rotate some of the foundations out. And that ain't even mentioning injuries. Eagles went for broke when they won it. Denver went for broke. Spent it all, spared no cost, spared no expense. When you're in that window, go win a Super Bowl. Let me ask y'all Dolphin fans this. Which would you rather? Make the playoffs every year for 10 years? I'm going to go extreme to prove my point. Would you rather go to the Super Bowl for 10 years and lose? All 10 years? Or go to the Super Bowl 1 year and win? Talk to me. I know I went extreme. I didn't have to go that extreme in the example. I could have just said a few years. I just wanted to go extreme. Would you want to go to the Super Bowl 10 years and lose all 10 or go 1 year and win that one? Talk to me. Put it in the comment section. Talk to me. Talk to me. Any real football fan, that's an easy answer. Any football fan, you're missing a real answer. I mean, you're missing the picture. You just want that one. You got to get that one. You got to get that one, man. Do you know how hard it is to get that one? Do you know how hard it is to get that one? Somebody said, I'd rather lose 10 and be the laughing stock of the league like Buffalo. You got to get that one. You got to win it. Screw going to it. You got to win it. Joe Burrow, there's a chance he may never make another one. Do you know how that can haunt him? Imagine Joe Burrow never going again, ending his career 20 years later. Do you know how impactful that loss would be on his soul? You get that one. Screw them 10 appearances. You go that one. That's what it's freaking about, man. And I even went extreme and said, go to the Super Bowl 10 times. But the truth of the matter is, the real comparison is, would you want to be competitive for 10 years or win one Super Bowl in the 10? That's what it's about, man. The freaking Rams, man, they ain't got to win for the next 7 to 10 years, but they got that one. And then people will be like, come on, man, we got to get back. See, you win that one, it sustains your soul as a fan for so many years. But go look at the Cowboys. They are, believe it or not, even though there's America's team, I promise y'all they're the most miserable fan base there is because they always have a chance and it's blown up in their face. Ain't no worse feeling. That ain't good for your health. That ain't good for your health. It's like winning the lottery and then people keep telling you, oh, that was a fake ticket. We got you. That ain't good for your health. That is not good for your health. At some point, you want to cash in. Do y'all realize it's a whole... Do y'all realize, first of all, 80% of Dolphin fans never seen them win a Super Bowl? 1972. 50 years. When you look at the demographic for NFL football fans, between the age of 1 and 100, 70% of all fans alone are between the ages of like 13 and 48. And that ain't including the little 5% down there at the bottom for 1 through 13. But about 70% of fans are 50 or younger. They have never seen their team win a Super Bowl. Never. They have never seen their team win a Super Bowl. Sean said, I'm 48. That's even worse. Like, you... Well, I mean, and then to be fair on top of that, the truth is you can add some years, because I have my personal belief. Yeah, you could be a young fan, but you don't really understand the game until you're about 16 years old as far as really in and out deep dive. So the truth is, everybody under the age of like 65, you have never really appreciated a Super Bowl in your life. Because an 8-year-old, you can win the Super Bowl, but you don't know to appreciate it. You just become a fan because you see the hoorah. You don't appreciate it. Everybody about 65 and younger, you've never really experienced the appreciation of knowing every player on the team's name, the impact they had, their stats and everything, and they won. Like, you know all about the team. So we are starving as a fan base. And Bones, he just made an even better comment. Barely seen the freaking playoff, TD. That's the truth. Half of us ain't even appreciate a playoff win. Forget the playoffs, just a playoff win. We don't have... Bro, when you really think about it, I've never appreciated a playoff win. Me! I'm 37. I think I'm 37. Born in 85. It's 2022, January. Yeah, I'm 37. I'm 37. And I've never appreciated a playoff win. I've saw Dan Marino win a playoff game, but I ain't appreciated. I would have thought it was a regular game like any other, being a kid sitting on the floor in the living room watching my daddy cheer and, oh, yeah, you know. I have never... Maybe we won a playoff game and I'm just missing it because we done lost so many. Have we won a playoff game since Marino? Maybe I'm having a far here and we may have won one or something. Look at me. I'm having to guess if we won one playoff game. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Have we won a playoff game? All I remember in regards to playoffs is Tannehill got hurt. We played Pittsburgh. Almost had a chance at the end. I remember that play because Laramie Tunsil got beat too. If that was Tunsil or Brandon Albert, whoever that was on the left side, got beat on like one of the final plays of the game when we were trying to come back. But that's all I remember is that blowout. I feel like we beat the Colts. Win. That's what I'm trying to realize. Since Dan Marino, when did we win the playoff game? I just don't remember. I ain't say make the playoffs. I said won a game. Somebody said 2001. I rest my case. Over 20 years. And once again, take 20 years off of my age. 21 years, actually. 21 years off my age make me 16, right at the cutoff. That's why I can't even appreciate that one, because I don't even remember it. I don't even remember it. So you mean to tell me, Miami Dolphin fans, you're not outraged at the fact that your team never won a playoff game in 21 years? Oh my, what have we been doing? What have we been doing? Has anybody in the comment section ever did any gardening? It's like planting an orange tree or something. And every year you do all the work you need to get a harvest, and you still ain't never seen a green round circle on the tree that might turn orange. You ain't even seen the green circle. You're like, dang, it's been 21 years. This orange tree ain't never gave a fruit yet. Well, we gonna still prune it. We gonna still, fertilize it. It's gonna come one day. God, dog it. At some point, cut the doggone tree down and start over. Matter of fact, put 5 of them in the ground and wait on one of them to do it before you cut the other 4. Gosh, like, when you really think about what we've been doing, this is insanity. And we constantly allow them to make organizational changes that are like, the opportunity in front of them is the one that they know gives them the best chance to just change all our fortune, and we just gonna close the door and be all right with it. And be all right with it. When you really put things into context, are we all really okay with this? We really okay with this? I'm not talking about y'all new fans, man. I'm talking about the ones that have been through the trenches. We've seen this before. We've seen quarterbacks that gave us better hope than this one. Let me ask y'all a question I just thought about. In Miami, was Tannehill good in the pocket? Did Tannehill have good pocket presence and awareness and maneuvering in the pocket? Did he? Yes or no? Heck no, right? Now watch this. Is Tua good in the pocket? Does he the way he navigates a pocket, does he do it well? Yes. That's something that we've actually, a lot of people have agreed with. He actually does a fair job in the pocket. Tua actually maneuvers the pocket well. So with that being said, which quarterback you think was more important to get an O-line for? Tannehill. Because he had the arm. He had the arm strength. A lot of us knew he just needed time to throw the ball. Because as soon as they finally got him that time, he finally started connecting in like year 3.5, year 4, year 5. He would connect on the deep balls, and it actually started looking really good. But here we are trying to say we need an O-line for Tua when that's one of, quote unquote, his strengths, right? And it ain't like we're sitting here saying he need more time to fling the ball 55, 60 yards, because he just ain't going to do it in contention. Only time Tua performs well on the deep ball is if it is wide open and he sees it. It's not making any sense to me, this whole narrative. Tannehill has been making the playoffs each year since he left Miami. Facts are facts. Tannehill makes plays. Tannehill ain't no elite quarterback. He ain't no great quarterback. I've decided he's not even a very good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And he can have very good moments. The question with him is if he could ever be consistent in a very good state. Has yet to prove that. It's just not adding up for me. So people can get mad at me all they want. Call me negative about this team. Now I'm passionate. I love this team. Just want to see them make the right decisions. Because nobody wants to stop and ask themselves 365 days from now, if we win 8 games and miss the playoffs, and we're right back in this moment when everybody says, well, now we know we need to go get a new quarterback. First of all, there's no guarantee that you will, so they may even give him a 4th year. Second off, who you going to go get? Well, we still got assets now for the draft. Another hope. You don't know what you're going to get out of that. And then you ain't going to be low enough in the draft to get the top prospect coming out. And I don't care what picks you got. We had more picks than anybody to move up for Burrow. And they said, get out my face. What makes you think the worst team ain't going to say the same thing? Because they know the value of a franchise quarterback. Well, we'll have the assets to trade for somebody. You ain't never having a quarterback carousel like you having now. Most of those situations are going to be determined this offseason of these guys who move. I don't see no other guys moving in the near future other than guys that ain't good enough to get it done, like Baker Mayfield. Why? Why are we going to do that? Will Lamar Jackson having issues, so you're going to bank on him hoping, because he ain't got no personal issues or organizational issues. It's just all money, and that 9 times out of 10 seems to work itself out. We right back repeating the cycle over and over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if we suck this year or next year. Go secure a franchise quarterback, then start your build process around that. Because you have a 0.000000001% chance of building something around an average guy that's going to win a Super Bowl. We out here trying to go 16 plays to score, hoping that we don't get no penalties, hoping that we don't make no mistakes, hoping that's why they play zone. Had this deep conversation about how much I hate zone, but I do understand why. Because teams play zone against us, and Tua eats a zone up, but we still ain't putting up points. Tua will kill your zone. I always tell y'all that. But we don't put up enough points. Why? Because in Tennessee, they're the epitome of it. They actually play a lot of hybrid zone match. You come through the area, they hop on you. The reason why they do is against us, especially, they look at us and they say, we don't care if we give you 16 plays to go down the field, because on first down, you might get 4 yards. On second down, you might throw a little screen for, 5. But we're going to rely on all these 3rd and 1s. We're going to put you in a 3rd down situation, at least 4 downs on this drive. We feel like you will make a mistake at least on one of those 4. So if you need 16 plays to go score, we're going to bet that you make 2 mistakes at a minimum out of 16 on this drive. We just need to play sound defense and hope that they come in a timely manner. That's why teams play zone. Save the rest they need so their guys aren't worn out against defenses that aren't that deep of a threat down the field. People say they only play zone for mobile quarterbacks. Then why they do it against us? When they play zone against us, they're bending but not breaking, and they know that we're going to make the mistake before they do. Can we get a holding call? Can we get a false start? Can we get a guy who drops the ball? Can we get a quarterback who messes up a throw or reads it wrong? Can we get a botched snap? Can we get whatever? That's why they do that. And then when they got those opportune moments, 3rd and 7, now we'll bring that heat on them. Give them something they ain't used to. We'll show them a zone look, but we're going to send the pressure and man it up. Oh, I'm telling you, bro. But then when you got Buffalo, Kansas City, even the Bengals sometimes, and the Chargers, man, they can score 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes if they have to. They can go get a chunk easy. Easy. And sometimes you need to score real quick. We down by 13 points with 5 minutes left. We all know the game over. Another team down 13 points, 5 minutes left. Oh, we in this. We still in it. It ain't over. TD is 91 coming back. Not likely. I ain't gonna lie. I wish he was coming back because I needed you to bring this whole team back and get rid of those guys that we needed to cut and save $20 million, and then fill in some holes on the O-line and stuff like that. But y'all recognize we might be losing some quality, like in Ogba, stuff like that. We might be losing him and still having to replace him. And this is why Mike McDaniel said we may, decline on defense a little as long as we take that huge leap on offense. As long as you do. But that's a trade-off. That didn't mean your team got better. Do y'all notice that? He said you may be less productive on defense as long as you take a bigger step on offense. You take a step back on defense, it could hurt you more than your improvement on offense. See, defense plays offense too. You can't be beat if the other team can't score. Defense plays offense too. See, you could have a trash offense and still win games. Your offense can be trash, but if you got an elite defense, you could still win games. But if your defense is trash and you got an elite offense, you're going to lose more games than you win. Because even a great offense is going to have some resistance on a defense. But a trash defense is letting things happen. Our defense put us in great field position a lot. You know how many times we got the ball at the opposing team's 40 and we didn't even get a field goal out of it? I'll do you one better. How many times did we drive up to the 25-yard line and we took raggedy sacks to like the 42 and we punted? TJ, can I get bought again? I got you 72. My chat just catching up. I just refreshed it. So I'm one of those people that's very hopeful that it works out. So what do we need for all of this to be a success? They're going to have to secure 2 really good offensive linemen. They're going to need another receiver weapon for sure. And I'm not talking about no middle of the road guy. Miss me with the juju stuff and all of that stuff. That ain't going to be good enough. Yeah, it'll be a guy who may be able to make some plays here and there, but that ain't good enough. You need a top guy, because if that's the case, you might as well bring Fuller back. If his only injury was a finger, you might well bring him back. All I care, on a lower deal. You'll get more production out of him as long as he's healthy. You definitely have to address the linebacker position. It has to be done. And we need to address Ogbah's vacancy. Y'all know how I feel about X, but it looks like they're going to figure something out with him. That's just another hit on the salary cap. So definite priorities: 2 O-linemen, a top wide receiver, a defensive end that's productive, a linebacker who can help us stop the run, and you got to fix the running back room. At least one guy. That's 6. Can we afford to get great players at all positions? We can't even afford to get half of those. And X, yeah, fixing his situation. We can't afford to get half of those. But we're going to have to pick which 2 or 3 we can and settle for less than on the others. But here's why I be making all the fussing and stuff that I do. If I got Deshaun Watson, I'm not too concerned about the linebacking. Even though we're hurt in that area, I know that we'll be able to put up offensive production that can offset that, because our defense is still good enough. We may trade a lot of 3 points instead of 7. I don't have to solely address the linebacker position till next year, where we can get even better if I had a Deshaun Watson, because I know what's going to happen on offense. If I had a Deshaun Watson, truth be told, I don't even need 2 premier offensive linemen. Just give me one on his blind side. His skill and the money we pay him, trust me when I tell you, he'll be able to handle anything he can see coming at him. But make sure you still protect his blind side. I don't need 2 great offensive linemen. Just give me one on that back end. With Deshaun Watson, at this point, I don't need a $20 million wide receiver, but I'm still going to spend the same amount of money. Go get me 2 $10 million ones. I don't need the $20 million guy. Go get me the 2 $10 million guys with Waddle and Gesicki and Parker and Holland. I don't. And that's what I'm trying to show people. You can make some sacrifices if you got a guy like Watson. You know what you're going to get on offense. You can sacrifice a few things. But with Tua, no, you got to get those right pieces around him without flaw. And then on top of it, with Tua, if one of those guys go down in a critical position, we screwed. With Watson, a guy go down, we still got a chance. He can still make up for inefficiencies. What did he say? TD, how many first-round picks we have this year, and who can we get to replace Ogbah? We got 1 first-round pick, and it's number 29. I think. Or 30. I think it's 29, though. Yeah, it's 29. We got 1 first-round pick this year. Let me tell you what I would also do if I had Watson. I would trade Xavier Howard for a first-round pick. I would go get J.C. Jackson. And now we're younger and just as productive in the secondary, right? But we just picked up another draft pick. It's just a swap, but you profit a first round pick. Has anybody thought about that? I would just sign JC Jackson, trade X, get a first round pick, because the money JC Jackson is going to cost is what X is pretty much asking for. I would swap those two guys, but I get a first round pick, which helps with the Deshaun Watson trade. So we still have a little bit of capital left. Those are the type of moves that I would make. Those are definitely the type of moves that I would make. Somebody said this not Madden. It ain't got to be. That's a fair, logical possibility. Trade Xavier Howard for a first round pick and sign JC Jackson in free agency. What's the difference? X is asking for that kind of money anyway. JC Jackson is younger. Some will argue going to be better, but you profited a first round pick. Somebody say he ain't worth the first. Well, maybe you profit a second. I think he worth the first, but maybe you profit a second then. That makes too much sense to be considered, TD. I know. I know. I know it. Somebody said, why are you ignoring the Finsanity question, TD? I didn't know you asked about her. Is she okay? Where's she been at, bro? She is fine. Finsanity, from what I know, is taking care of her business, stuff that she's taking care of. So, people have things in their life that they have to focus on at certain times. So that's it. From what I know, everything is fine. I'll just put it like that. All right. I'll talk about other people's life and stuff like that, but from what I know, everything is fine. All right. Thanks for answering, bro. No worries. Trade X for Watson. I don't know. Maybe that's even a part of it. That's all I'm saying, though. That's all I'm saying. You can make deals in this situation where we come out profitable. We actually can make this work, y'all. I'm telling you, you could actually make it work. Let me tell you what I would actually do in a dream scenario, right? I would take Xavier Howard. I would take Christian Wilkins, because Zach Zeiler is putting up the same production as Christian. I know we drafted him and we love him, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Zach Zeiler is not a fall off from Christian Wilkins. I know some of y'all don't want to believe that because Christian Wilkins is a big name because we drafted him. But Zach Zeiler actually rated out higher than him with a massive amount of snaps this season. Zach Zeiler was the number 3 interior defensive lineman in the NFL this year with over 500 snaps. I think he has 650 or something like that. He's under contract for the next few years also. Remember that. We stole him from, I think, the Ravens practice squad. Or their practice squad or something, and the Ravens were mad about it. Again, I'm not asking y'all to get into y'all, we drafted him and we love him feelings. I'm just saying, we talking what's best for the team. I love Christian Wilkins. I don't want to get rid of Christian Wilkins, just like Tunsil, but I know what makes sense makes sense. So what I would do is Xavier Howard, Christian Wilkins. Boy, if I could add Jerome Baker, but I'm going to leave him alone, whatever. But I would take those two guys right there, and I would add 2 first-round picks, and I'm done. I got Watson. And I still got a first-round pick next year, as normal. All we did is took the last little bit of profits we had from Laremy Tunsil and got them back in Miami and used it. Because you're going to have to pay Christian Wilkins next year anyway. Save the money. So now I'm going to get JC Jackson, The money I probably would have spent on Christian Wilkins, I'm bringing Laramie Tunsil back home. Y'all hear me? You got Watson. I got J.C. Jackson replacing X. I'm taking the money that I would have spent on Christian Wilkins, and I'm bringing my boy Laramie Tunsil back home in a trade with what, even if I got to give up that first that I got for next year. I'm bringing him back home where he belongs because he's the one who started all this in the first place, gave us an opportunity to even get most of those guys. Let's get that straight, okay? Christian Wilkins, if I'm not mistaken, he might be Laramie Tunsil. Some of these guys that we love now, they are Laramie Tunsil. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have got them. And I'm still gonna have money left because I ain't gonna be paying Christian. Man, and X. So I'm going to get J.C. Jackson with that money. I'm bringing Laramie Tunsil back home, and that is just solely for Watson's blind side. I'm keeping Hunt. Okay, I'm going to get me a average freaking right tackle over there. Watson can see it coming. That is his strength. I just need Laramie on his back end with probably a guy like I may keep Austin Jackson over there. As long as I got Laramie on one side, Austin right there, I'm fine. I promise you, whether you like Austin or not, that's why you go get Watson. He'll help alleviate some of that. I'm keeping Dieter at center. I'm keeping Hunt at right guard, and I'm letting Eichenberg go to right tackle. I'm letting Eichenberg go to right tackle where he need to be anyway. And then I'm going to get me 2 middle of the road receivers, maybe even 1. They might even bring Fuller back in that situation, but it'll be much cheaper because he just got a free $10 million. Will Fuller look like he about to be a 2-year, $10 million guy? I would bring that back with Waddle and Parker, Gesicki. This just about the same receiving core. We still gonna ball because we were on the film. We were leaving everything out there anyway. There were opportunities to be made with the current roster. And I would go get a guy like Fournette because I got a few pennies now. I still got a few pennies to make something happen, so I'll go get Fournette. And then I'll say whatever I got left. I ain't got to save as much for the draft. I still got some later draft picks. I ain't got to save as much, but some of the money I got, what can I do at the defensive end and linebacker position? You'll figure it out. You know why? Because you got Deshaun Watson and free agents will come to Miami. And some of those middle of the road guys may not even need to be paid buku money. Because with a guy like Watson, you can afford for the defense to take a little step down. With Tua Tagovailoa, that defense better stay intact. As a matter of fact, it better be better. And that unit right there, that team right there, I feel like I got a chance. I feel like I got a chance. I feel like I freaking got a chance. I feel like I got a chance, period. I still got my safeties locked down. I got my corners now, Byron and JC, excuse me. Still got a good unit on the defensive front that's going to be schematically doing some of the same things. Now I got a real quarterback behind this system with the real left tackle protecting the blind side. Same team. Same team, and I feel like I got a chance. Easy. Yeah, I keep forgetting about Lynn Bowden. Sure, what Watson can do with him. TD, do you think it's too late for Chris Greer to change his mind on Watson because it would be a PR nightmare? I think it's too late, man. I think it's too late. It's going to always be too late if the fan base isn't kicking up enough sand, making a sandstorm. They feel like when they mention that door is closed, there wasn't enough beating the door down, like saying, what are y'all thinking? Y'all crazy. They ain't feeling the heat until this weekend when the man is clear. And they're going to try to get out of this weekend unscathed. And they're hoping that he hurry up and get traded so they can move past this moment so everybody can just focus on the team that we have. That's what they're doing as an organization. They're like, please hurry up and trade him somewhere. And please don't make it the AFC because it'll make it even worse. But just hurry up and get him somewhere. But if we don't make the playoffs, I don't care if you're a big name lineman get hurt, your new receiver get hurt. I don't care. Or the defense ain't the same. There ain't no excuse. I don't care what happens this season. Well, you can't project injuries. Don't want to hear it. Because you're building a team that requires everybody to be in place and perform at a high level just to have success. You're not building a team that can absorb a guy going down here and there. That's why I keep telling y'all, whatever we build, if we go get a great right tackle and left tackle, if that left tackle go down, right back to normal. If the receiver, that the big name receiver you bring in go down, oh, it's the weapons again. We lost our guys, so you can't blame it on them. It's going to always be something. But with a guy like Watson, you can lose people. It don't matter. He's still responsible to play at a high level. And you know what I realized, ladies and gentlemen? When we say Watson can carry a team, we need to stop that. We need to say Watson can carry an offense. We need to start being very specific because people will twist our words and try to put them against us. So now on, stop saying that Watson is the answer. Say Watson can carry your offense. Then I want to see their argument and their comeback. Because when you say he can carry the offense, they'll stop using that 4-12 crap that they try to use. That 4-12 crap they try to throw out there just to get you off of the facts of the matter. Because you don't need Watson to carry your team. You need him to carry your offense. It's that simple. Maybe that keep Tua talk is a smokescreen. Like Seattle said, Wilson wasn't going anywhere. I would hope, right? That would be beautiful. But let me say this. I have zero faith in my team is, at this point at least. Like if they were doing that and they got the deal done, I would be shocked. I'd be excited. The energy in many people would just be through the freaking roof. The biggest trick of all time that was for the better. But can Dolphin fans really expect them to do something like that? Can we really expect them to get it right? No, we can't. No, we can't. No. And that's me being negative. That's me being negative. When I should be hopeful that's the case. Now I'm actually being negative. No, no. They'll stick with Tua. Because Mike McDaniel basically told them, I'm going to prove your doubters wrong for you. And pride, man. They wouldn't like anything more than Tua being a franchise quarterback in the world knowing it because he's great. But what people need to realize is we all would love that. But sometimes you chasing something that you know you need to give up. Stop. And even if it's still possible, God dog, man. Why are we chasing that when you can have Deshaun Watson? The epitome of greatness. We got 500 people watching right now. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. Also, we got TD Sports Talk. We've been growing that channel over there. If you want to show your love and support the All Sports Talk channel, with my desires to be a sports commentator. So, ESPN, like I told y'all before, they're not calling me. So at the end of the day, I just got to create my own lane. So go over, subscribe to TD Sports Talk. We just crossed over 2,000 subs. Now we're trying to get to 2,100. That's about 300 subs in 2 weeks, y'all, a week and a half. So thanks for all y'all who went over, show love, and subscribe to it. If you want to go ahead and do that now, just go to YouTube, type in TD Sports Talk, and subscribe to the All Sports channel. All right. I appreciate y'all though. We talk all sports over there. This is our Dolphin channel. This is my home. This is my love. But to branch out and do bigger and better things, even though my haters hate it, I gotta be able to talk all sports. I feel like you're limiting yourself and you really can't even speak well about your own team if you don't understand all of them. You can't speak well about your own team if you don't see the different struggles and positives other teams deal with. So it also helps educate me too, as I do research on other teams and talk about what they're dealing with. So again, go over there, support that channel. I love y'all. Those who continue to support, all y'all who continue to hate on it. Love y'all too, because y'all hate in public and they don't do nothing but give me more advertisement. So thank y'all too. All right. We had some more super chats. Said watch Tua go down again and we got to sign Cap. Now I'm not gonna wish that on the man. Now don't get me wrong, based off of history, there's a probability that he can't finish the season. It ain't low. But I'm not gonna put that on him. I'm not just gonna say watch he do. That's something I've tried my very best to actually stay away from. I've been keeping it strictly on the field football. But to be fair, that is a big concern. Tua Tagovailoa, we still got to deal with how much his body can absorb. But I will tell you this, he's worked on his body. You can see he's getting a much more broader frame. He's already broader than he was in college. He's coming into his grown man body. The issue I have with that is I've been saying this for a year and a half now. I think his body, as he continues to transform it, it is affecting his touch. If you know what that means, it's affecting his touch. So what I mean by that is if you're used to throwing because y'all know Tua struggles making passes in the flats, right? Don't get me wrong, he makes the little 2-yard passes all day in the slants, all butter. But behind the line of scrimmage, he's actually one of the worst in the league. And the touch passes over the linebackers under the safety, the teardrops, like the ones that require touch, he struggles. And I'm telling y'all, I think the issues he had with his touch is straight up from his body transformation. Because your arm is second nature. Your throwing rhythm is second nature. You know how guys just athletic, they like, they like those touch passes and stuff. It's just easy, second nature. But when you transform your body, your calibration on that is different. That's why I feel like he sails those passes 2 feet over the guy more than he used to do in Alabama. And that's why sometimes I feel like he's like, okay, I've been overselling throws like this. I'm going to put a little less into it. Oh, it hit the dirt. He has to find that calibration again. And this is fair. This ain't no hate and criticism. I'm just telling you, I'm actually giving him an excuse, but one that I think is truly something he's dealing with. He's lost a little touch, but that's because of the transformation. He has to learn his new strength. I think he's trying to transform a lot of that lower body strength into upper body strength, but he has to realize you got a different arm now. And I think that's why even deep balls, he always put it up where the guy has to wait a little sometimes because he wants to make sure they get it versus over or under throwing it. So that's why it kind of makes me, if I'm right on this, it don't mean I'm right, but that's what I think. That's my theory on it. If I am right on this is why I cringe every time I see him on them perform videos, his workout, whatever. When he's still just working on the upper body and you're still changing your strength levels and you ain't figured out your current level yet, I feel like that's a slippery slope. That is a fine-tuned detail that people need to not ignore. That might just be his hip. No. I know what you see. Hip is where you get your base and your power from. I'm talking about touch. The touch passes. Not just the power, but y'all know, if any of y'all that play sports, you know what I'm talking about when I say touch. Those second nature things. You ain't even got to worry about it. You like, even in basketball, you know your strength, what's going to go where, how it's going to go based off of, touch. If you're an athlete, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I ain't an athlete no more. I used to be. But he struggles with touch. That's why always where those passes that require touch, just like over the linebacker, under the safety, it's just not a throw. It's you got to put it right up in there. And he struggles with that. And I'm not saying that's because of his skill. I think it's because of his body. He hasn't learned how to use it, but yet they're still changing it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think your body was fine last year. Keep learning it. My opinion. We'll see how it goes. It's just my opinion on that. Should Tua have to compete for the starting job? This year, no. Because if he has to compete, then what the heck we doing all this for? Let me ask you a question. Wherever Deshaun Watson goes, is he going to compete for the starting job? And why? I already know the answer is no. Why wouldn't he? That question aggravates the heck out of me, not because of you asked it. I'm just saying it just made me realize I hate that question now. Should he have to compete competition at quarterback? Why we ain't trying to get a quarterback that don't need competition? Because the truth is, everybody deep down knows Tua needs competition. We always say competition because we want to push a guy. We feel like competition brings the best out of great players. Think about that. What does that tell you? Why do people ever say bring competition in? They only say it for two reasons. Because if the first one ain't good enough, you at least got somebody that beat them out, so they're better. But that ain't typically the reason why you want to bring competition in. You want to bring competition so they don't feel safe. They don't get complacent. You want to push them to be great, and you want them to prove that, man, ain't no competition. I'm the guy. But think about that. Why is half of our fan base sitting here arguing for the last 2 years about one of his issues being the thought or the presence of competition? Ryan Fitzpatrick, they sabotage Tua. Wow, competition is sabotaging now. Why? Because the purpose of competition didn't work for Tua. It's supposed to bring the best out of you. It's supposed to make you even better because you want to prove something. But instead, the result was the opposite. He just wasn't good. And now we want to blame the competition for being the reason he wasn't good when the design of it is to get the best out of you. Do you see how we've reversed every normal basic logic to fit him? We have to go against common knowledge, common reasoning, common principles just to not make him look bad. To where we turn competition into a negative now. That's how far we've gone, to where we have transformed the term competition as a negative. It's unfair to Tua, making him compete for his job, having to worry about if he's going to play or not. Bro, I've never heard this in my life until the last 2 years. In sports, I have never heard this. Well, they killed his confidence. They kept talking about trading for a better player. So you don't rise above that and show them why they shouldn't? I have never heard this logic in my life until the last 2 years. In an athlete, in a sports environment. Where did this come from? Where did it come from? Imagine if Seattle would have said that about freaking Josh Rosen, passed up on Kyler Murray. The homie said hard to find a backup that won't beat Tua out. That's the frustrating part too. If you're looking for a backup that won't beat him out, then it's hard to find a backup that can win games, that can help you win games. Because that's how far the difference is. It ain't far. Why in year 3 we still talking about competition? LMAO. When it comes to Watson and Burrow, they talking about game plan, not bringing in competition. Yeah, but at the same token, people would agree with you, but in a different way. They'll say, yeah, exactly. We shouldn't be talking about competition. We should just give it to him, even though he ain't earned it, even though he ain't proved nothing. Just give it to him. Eliminate all that competition talk. Bring in Winston to compete. I'm sorry. If Jameis Winston was on this team, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a better player. Jameis Winston ain't no freaking Jacoby Brissett. Some people argue that too. Jameis Winston would basically be a Ryan Fitzpatrick potentially. Jameis Winston has skills at the position. He could do a lot of the things Tua struggle with. Just sometimes he'll do something boneheaded, but still, regardless. So they definitely ain't bringing in no Jameis Winston. And if they do, you're going to have another quarterback that may be playing better than the quote-unquote starter, but you ain't starting them, losing respect in that locker room yet again. Losing respect in that locker room, knowing that you're not playing a quarterback that gives you the best chance to win. You don't want Winston? It's not that I don't want Winston. I feel like that'll be an upgrade, but at the same token, we're not going to bring him in to utilize him. Politics. We're running politics in Miami. We're not sitting here talking about winning. We're running politics. They showed you that when they bench Fitz for Tua. Politics, man. TD, what do you want Miami to do? At the end of the day, go get a franchise quarterback number 1, and then we worry about the rest later. It's that simple. Go get a franchise quarterback that you'll have under contract for a minimum of 4 years, and then we'll go from there. Because we can keep on trying this methodical approach, but when you come to realize 5-10 years from now that it ain't matter anyway, and I'm sitting here talking about what was it all for? Well, we didn't know you had to take the chance. No, you didn't. You had to take the highest probability, and we're not doing that. Y'all punch the like button. Let's get 300 likes, man. Got 500 watching. Only 260 likes. Let's hit that like button. In a perfect world, we would be starting Watson and a developmental young QB like Tua as backup. I agree, but the atmosphere we're in now, we can't have Tua as a backup. He would have to go somewhere else so he can try to maximize his opportunity. I think you would owe that to him, sitting here him somewhere else where he'd, get an opportunity like the one we're trying to give him now. But you got to do what's best for you, Miami. And all you owe him is still trying to give him an opportunity, but somewhere else. And I promise you will find a partner that will give him a shot this year. But here's where it gets messed up. Some people know that if Miami got Watson and they traded Tua somewhere, wherever they trade Tua, that team may have issues too, as far as not everything around them. Because nobody with everything around them without the quarterback is going to trade for Tua. Because they're trying to win now. So the team he goes to would be reminiscent of the team we had last year. And that would be hurtful for him. So people are so ingrained in him instead of our team. They're like, yeah, that wouldn't be fair. No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, he needs to stay in Miami as they get great weapons too. Because let's be honest, this is what they're talking about. This is exactly what they're saying without saying it because they wouldn't dare say it in public. You know, let's keep him in Miami, get him a whole bunch of weapons to hide his issues. And even if he's not great, as long as we're winning and we make the playoffs, you know, he found a home. He found a home. This is it. You know, he doesn't have to do everything. Just figure out a way to win with them so that he can get what he deserves. And that's greatness because he's a great kid and he has a great faith and blah, 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 blah. I get all that, but your feelings are too attached. God got him. This may not even be his calling. This might not even be his calling. I don't see half the love for Tim Tebow. And all he did was win games. All Tebow did is win games. Tebow came in and felt like they went like 8-1. That team wasn't making no playoffs. Something crazy happened. They went like 8-1. They actually did what we couldn't do last year. That's basically what it was. They were trashed the first half. Tebow came in and some crazy way the defense led them for 4.5 quarters every week. 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters every week. The offense did nothing. But the defense played so well that they never let the other team over like 10 points. And then the miracles started happening. There was always 6 minutes left, and Tebow just made 2 or 3 touchdowns to win the game. I don't know how. I still can't understand it. Gotta be, but I'm just saying. But at the same token, it may not be your calling. Great kid, great human being. But just because you're in a season right now don't mean it's your final calling. Stop trying to force his calling. Trying to make it seem like this is what it is. You don't know what it is. Everything will work itself out. I know it don't look like it right now. And maybe that could be what it is. He being forced into his true calling. I don't know. But gosh. It's like people had this complex of he deserves to be rewarded because of his faith. That's his journey. You don't know and most great journeys go on bumpy roads and they end up somewhere they never thought they would. Let this man live his journey out. Stop trying to help make it a success. That is one person's only one has that job. And we are not that one. There you have it. Tua is your QB1. That is his calling. Somebody who says Mick go to Valor. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, that's actually scary because it sounds like you worshiping him. You talking about calling. I'm actually talking about religion a little. And it sounds like you worshiping him. I'm saying stuff like that. which is a total contradiction of what he believes. Stop worshiping the man. All right. Anyway, 2-9 should buy a franchise in Hawaii for Tua. There go the bots again. They coming in trying to tell you find love through hot boys and girls. Lord, it's crazy. All right. Stop hating the man. All right. That's what you call hate. And go to my Lord. I'm curious. I want to know how old you are, man. Why'd you gonna probably lie? I really want to know how old you are. I want to know how old you are. That is a very interesting thing to know how old you are. Without lying. I would really want to know how old you are. Blockbuster trade next week for the Dolphins. Listen, wherever Watson go, it is very likely it's happening before Wednesday. I think it's going to happen tomorrow, as far as I know. Oh, man, I think it's going to happen tomorrow. He said, I'm 35. Okay. Now y'all stop. I ain't asked that for y'all to gang up on him and try to tell the man he a child. I just asked him seriously because I would have let me stop because that's feeding into it. But nah, it is what it is. 35-year-old Army vet. Then you should have enough discipline. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Since you said Army vet, you should have a tough skin to take this. You should have enough discipline to know that ain't nobody hating on that man. They give an objective criticism of his game. You know what hate is and you know what criticism is. You just have your own personal agenda. He said, I'm a kid. It probably, man, come on, man. You probably is. But anyway, TD, you know something. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Don't put that on me. Listen, I done already told y'all, I got zero faith that they gonna do what's right, and I've been told they ain't gonna do what's right. So I don't know nothing. I wish I knew something. I wish I had the privilege to be lying to y'all right now, knowing I got in my back pocket that Blockbuster coming. Woo! I wish that was gonna be the case. I wish that was gonna be the case, but for the record, it ain't. It is not the case. You're the one with agenda. I know I got an agenda. See the difference? I'm telling you that I do, but you want to act like you don't. I know I have an agenda, and my agenda is clear. Talk about what I feel is best for the Miami Dolphins organization. That's my agenda. And Tua Tagovailoa ain't a part of that agenda, in my opinion. Don't mean he ain't going to end up being, and we don't win a Super Bowl with him this year, and we go all the way, and we got a dynasty baby with Tua. Yeah! It's possible. But my analysis is going to be evaluated off of probability, and the probability of doing that with him versus Watson is night and day. Still don't mean it won't happen with him. It can still happen with Tua. I've never discounted that, but the probability is very low. Still possible, though. So for all y'all who want to keep living in that realm of possibility, okay, but at least be honest. At least say it ain't a great chance that it's going to happen, but I'm going to believe in it. Oh, I ain't never criticized nobody ever saying nothing like that. But be honest. Stop sitting here lying. Talk about Tua's just as good as Watson if you get everything around him. Like I said before, Tua Tagovailoa hadn't even reached Deshaun Watson's floor. Let me say that for the people in the back. Tua Tagovailoa has yet to even reach Deshaun Watson's floor. And we all act like Watson himself is a finished product as young as he is. It would much better for this offensive coaching staff to game plan with Deshaun Watson than with Tua Tagovailoa. Lesser time to focus on developing a QB. And also, you ain't got to keep on creating these schemes that give them fabricated time. Think about it. The only reason they do all the motioning and stuff is just to delay the defense another half a second. All kind of little gimmick plays to try to get the ball out quick. You ain't going to have to do that as much with Watson because you're going to do just like Mahomes, and he's going to extend the play. Even if he hike it and straight towards the sideline, looking downfield, that's buying seconds. He can do that. Picking, prying, and constant criticism is eventually just hating, TD, and you're wrong. Your definition is just wrong. Matter of fact, some of y'all need to go look up the definition of hate. I know it's a term y'all wanted to fit all kind of different categories, but I'm sorry, I'm a literal person. You're just wrong. That ain't what hating is. Go look up the term hate. Because you said picking, prying, and constant criticism is eventually just hating, TD. No, it ain't. You know what it is? Picking, prying, and constant criticism. That's all. You can't take words and try to make it another word that's more severe. Those words are just what they are. Picking, prying, and constant criticism. Well, y'all try though. I'm 70% out on the Dolphins. Been a fan for 30 years. I understand, but don't leave, man. Don't leave. At the end of the day, somebody said only 70. I'm surprised he didn't say 30. Some people done completely left. Y'all don't realize the Dolphins organization has lost many fans. But y'all don't realize it because Alabama and Hawaii fans have taken over. So y'all don't see it. The real diehard Dolphin fans. The real diehard Dolphin fans. Well, some of y'all don't realize, let's just hypothetically say there were 10 Dolphin fans in the world. After these 2 years, you lost 4 of those 10. You down to 6 of long-term real Dolphin fans. But you gained 6 fans from Alabama and Hawaii, so you got 12 now. You got more than you ever had. But you don't realize the real, true long-term impact. So when Tua Tagovailoa, if he doesn't work out and all of them leave, then and only then you'll feel the real impact of what they've done to this organization. Then and only then you'll feel the real impact. But you might not feel the real impact because if you do it the right way and go get a guy like Deshaun Watson, they'll all leave, but you'll get all 4 of those guys back. Plus you'll get all them Houston fans, and then you'll get even more old-time fans that been left. You'll get them all. But Miami gonna be Miami, man. I've never seen it until this point. Us literally totally disregard what's best for the organization. Clemson fans too, TD. I agree. You're right. Houston fans, Clemson fans. Hating Tua means rooting against him. And the only people rooting against our QB were Tua Nears when Brissett was playing. Interesting. I have never rooted against Tua. I hope he fails. I hope he don't win this game. I hope he have 10% completion. I hope he throw 3 picks. I hope he fails. I have never rooted against this man. Every game we go in is Tua time, shaking my freaking cup. Yeah, all right. He just threw a pick, but it's all right. He gonna get it back. Now, catch me in the fourth quarter, it might be a different me. I done had a few sips, and he done gave me all I need to see. And yeah, you may want to equate that close to hate, but it's fair. It's freaking fair. I go into games supporting that man every freaking week. Every freaking week I go into the game supporting this man. And for some reason around the fourth quarter, I'm just, Losing it. Oh, you can't make this stuff up, man. As much as I criticize Tua, nobody can ever say kickoff, I ain't all in on, all right, man, Tua gonna give us 280 today, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, but who doesn't? You know, he gonna have a real productive day. All we need him to do is take care of the ball. Let's grow. This is his game to grow. Every week. I have never missed a beat. I have never had a game that I ain't did that. I come into every week optimistic. And 9 times out of 10, I over-evaluated the situation. And I didn't evaluate it. I was just blindly optimistic that he would do good. 9 times out of 10, I was wrong. 280 is a little optimistic. No, you should see me at the end of the season. I'm like, it's okay. You know, today, you know, I start out the season, Tua going to get by 350. He going to have about 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. About in the middle of the season, he going to get by 280. This going to be finally his good day. He going to get 280. He going to have 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe 1 pick. By week 14-ish, all right, Tua going to get by 180 today. You know, he going to have, you know, maybe 1 touchdown, no picks. I'm still trying to give him a good ratio. By week 15, 16, man, Tua he just don't need to be the reason we lose the game today, okay? It's that simple. It's the truth. He changes the way I go, man. He just don't need to be the reason we lose the game today, man. I ain't finna give no stats because when you look at him, the trajectory today is about 180, 150, you know, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, maybe 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. I don't know. However it happens. Bro throws like 100 a game. Nah, he got more than that, man. He gets more than that, man. Oh, y'all got me internally laughing, man. But yeah, man, I don't hate on the man. I try my best to be optimistic and supportive on game day, man. But I got to tell you the truth between the week. But I keep telling people, all these people keep saying you're negative. Tell me what negative thing I've said that ain't come true. If it came true, then why do you put it in the bucket of negative? It's just that my analysis was accurate. It may be not analysis we wanted to hear. If somebody says based off of the team that the Browns are building this year, I still feel like they're only going to make 8 games. That's not negative. That's your analysis. Now let's see how good you were on your analysis. And if they only win 8 games, you were doggone spot on in your analysis. But y'all got to try to make me out to be the negative one. So tell me what negative I've been that ain't come true. Tell me what positive that you're hearing out there that came true. Please, can somebody tell me what positive about Tua Tagovailoa that's floating around here as theories and narratives for the last 2 years that has come true? Can anybody? Hypothetical dream question, would you continue to run the West Coast offense with Deshaun Watson this season or run an offense to tailor-made suit him? I'm going to run a combination of many offenses. See, with Deshaun Watson, you can run whatever offense you want depending on the opponent you play. What is your opponent's defense good at? Oh, they good at that? Well, let's run this. That'll kill that. See, with Deshaun Watson, you ain't got to get stuck in one system. This week, we might want to go RPO with Watson. Next week, we might want to go West Coast. Week after that, we might want to spread it out. Maybe we want to go pro style in this game. Oh my gosh, y'all missing it. You're missing it. You're missing it. Oh my, great question though. These people are missing it, man. This is the difference. This is the difference. Talk about which offense would you go with? One that best suits him? Every one of them best suits him. Ain't nobody running no offense in the NFL that man can't run as good as anybody. As good as anybody. As good as anybody. Period. Oh, it don't matter. because he also has the intelligence to read a defense. So he might be in the line of scrimmage with a West Coast offensive play, and he's noticing the defense. All right, we're going to switch this up. Let me talk to my line. He might be switching into something that's just totally pro style. Back that up. Tight end come out, flex out. Running back comes in, get on his hip. We in a whole different system now because he identified what they were in. We're not even talking about that. Audibling. Wishbone, whatever you want to say. Pistol. It don't matter, man. If we got Watson, which offense would we, whatever McDaniel is creative enough to want to do? Or is McDaniel only good in the West Coast? Can he only coach the West Coast? Do we have a limited coach too? I know everybody got their systems they want to run, but when you have a quarterback like that, are you going to even expand your palette as a coach to get into some other stuff too? Or are you just going to stick with what you know too because of your limitations? Anybody heard me? Oh, there's a reason Watson got that contract. Yeah. And it's actually cheap compared to all these other guys getting their deals, about to get their deals. People don't understand that. Watson could end up being the best player in the league on and not even be the top 10 paid quarterback in 2 years from now. Some of y'all need to come to that realization. Deshaun Watson could end up not even being a top 10 paid quarterback, making 35 or something, even though he could be the best quarterback in the league. The man still ain't even hit his ceiling. He just has started his prime. Do you think Watson's still interested in Miami Dolphins with the new coaches? I gotta be honest with you. That's a major question there. All of this could be ridiculous anyway because Watson may say, I don't want to come to y'all no more anyway. Y'all don't understand. If I got Watson on the phone, I'm begging him to come here and I'm saying, what you need? I don't care if that man told me, yeah, I don't think, Mike McDaniel is the right guy for me. And I think he'd be great with Mike, by the way, just so you know. But even if he said, I don't think Mike going to be the right guy for me, I would fire Mike right now on the spot. Who going to be the guy? I can care less. I'm going to fire him right now on the spot. Hey, you got paid. You got paid. That's all that matters. I'm going to give you your check. Don't worry. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little extra because I know this kind of janky and, janky promoter stuff. All right, Watson, that's done. What you need? What you need? What kind of coach what type of coach you think about? Period. I don't care what nobody say. It is what it is, man. You gotta go get you a guy. And the crazy thing is, we sit around here and criticize nothing we never experienced, and that's the problem. People don't like change. We are sitting here criticizing nothing we never even experienced. An elite quarterback. And again, don't miss me with that Dan Marino stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The last 22 years, 23 years, most of us ain't never experienced an elite quarterback. An elite freaking quarterback. Watson is the type of guy, I'd fire the GM if I had to. I can care less. What you need? I don't care. Well, he need to be fired anyway. But that's another story. I would do the same thing, TD. And I know I'm being extreme. Don't get me wrong. I would really try to make that situation work regardless. And I don't even think Watson would have that type of attitude towards it. But I'm just trying to paint a picture of you do whatever you got to do to get you a guy. You could be one of these trash teams around here building this unit every year, losing. You can do that all you want. Every year, 80% of the quarterbacks in the playoffs are franchise quarterbacks. The other 20%, about 80% of them lose in the first round. then you always got this one making it to the second or third round, or even going to the Super Bowl on a random occasion once every 20 years. And we use that as justification that it's possible. So how the QB class for 2023 looking, TD? I don't care. I ain't looking at them. I don't want to look at them. I won't look at them. Tua can bust out this year. I don't want to look at them. But what's going to happen at the end of the day? What? We going to have the 18th pick? Say we don't make the playoffs. What, we going to get the 18th pick? We going to what? And then we get San Francisco's again, so we'll have 18 and what? 20, 25 or something? And then the year after that, if we supposed to be good all of a sudden, ain't going to be that much. I mean, what? We going to try to trade down to number one and get declined again? So what does it matter? I got to still go after the third, fourth best quarterback in the draft and go from a new quarterback hope perspective again. Y'all do realize that if Tua don't work this year, is just the same cycle all over again. Now we need a new guy. Now we need a new guy. Same cycle all over again. And there we have, boy, they get mad at me, boy. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of love it. My haters get mad at me. So Barney puts a comment in the comment section, right? Nobody could see it but my mods and my members, right? And they get so mad they want to leave those little comments that they think hurt your feelings. And I could just ignore it, but sometimes I like to give them actual exposure. And so it looked like you took time to write it, Barney, so I ain't gonna let it go unnoticed. I'm gonna read it for you just so that you can stick a knife in me and twist it and hurt my feelings, all right? He said, TD a punk, and so is everyone who eats up this negative garbo. I'm out. F y'all. So you had to say that before you left. That's when you know somebody's hurt internally, ladies and gentlemen. That means they believed opposite, but you're making good cases to why they ridiculous. And pride before destruction, it hurts their feelings. He right, but that would mean that I'm one of those people believing this ridiculous. And no, I can't be. It feels like an insult because he coming at me. See, people don't have enough freaking humility to just say, I mean, stuff he's saying actually makes sense. Or if they disagree, just say, I don't believe nothing this man say. Everything he say is crap. I'm out of here. To yourself and leave. But you got to let it be known and announce it and try to hurt other people's feelings in the comment section by making a comment to them, trying to just insult everybody who feels this way. Because you're hurt. What's the saying? I always get it wrong. Something dog squeals or something like that. A hurt dog barks or some crap like that. I need to get that one together. Somebody give it to me in the comment section because I always mess that one up. Because I need to start using that a lot. Because they always lashing out. Somebody help me out in the comment section. A hit dog holler. Okay, that's one. Yeah. Hit dog holler. That's what it be. They be all in their feelings, man. When they are so adamant about something, and then when you giving good points of why they're wrong, their pride. And they don't let their pride just stay right there. Even if they want to keep their stance, they don't just walk away and say, I won't listen to this guy again. They have to make you feel the way you made them feel by trying to throw a bad insult to try to give it to you. But all you're doing is proving that you're hurt by hearing my message. But you need to ask yourself why it hurts you, why you're so invested to where it hurts you. See, when it hurts you, that means you're holding on to something that you know you shouldn't be holding on to. That's the only way it hurts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't care. You would just move on. You would say, this guy don't know what he talk about mentally and just walk out. The only time people have to go to those lengths is because you were hurt by something that was said. But again, you're only hurt by things that might actually be true. because you actually see the logic and reasoning, but you're on the wrong side of it. Next time, bro, hide it a little better by just walking out. Just a little advice. You ain't got to call everybody in here idiots and punks and all of that stuff. Tua plus 2 firsts and 2 seconds equals Watson. The math doesn't lie. 2 firsts, 2 seconds. And Tua, you got to add one more piece. One more piece, Baker. I think it'll take one more piece. One more valuable player or draft pick. It's my opinion. Because the truth is, Watson might even end up not even having league discipline. Because now ain't no criminal stuff. Now they have to wait on the civil to work out, but they can't stop them from playing because the new collective bargaining agreement said, unless you're charged with a felony, we cannot suspend you. And they already came out and said, we don't have enough to make a suspension. And now that the criminal situation is resolved, he can play until the criminal thing is worked out and they can make a determination if he had any liability. And now I think Watson faces a strong decision that he may have to make. He might be saying to himself, I'm going to fight this civilly too now. I think Watson is taking an approach. If I settle, everybody got to agree to this. If y'all don't, I'm fighting every single one of them. And the only reason I'm settling because I'm sick of this and I just want to move on. I do recognize I put myself in this situation to begin with, and it might cost to just move on past it. And if they ain't with that, then he's like, well, I feel like I still ain't do nothing wrong, so let's go through the trial. Let's go civilly. Because it already helps me as it is for the simple fact that I couldn't even get 1 out of the 9 in the grand jury to give me 1 out of the 9 charges. So we'll see what they decide. I think it's going to cost a little bit more. Somebody said blind faith in Watson. It is blind faith. It's blind faith in Watson. It's blind faith in Tua. If we brought Patrick Mahomes here, it would be blind faith in Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it's going to always be blind faith. But which one of them have a higher probability? I mean, y'all tell me now. If you ever played the lottery, right? Which one would you play? Say the pick 3, you can win $100 million on the pick 3. And all you need to do is pick 3 numbers correctly. In the Mega Million, you got to get 6 numbers correctly, but all you can win is $100 million. Let's just say that was the scenario. Pick 3, $100 million jackpot. Pick 6, $100 million jackpot. Which one you gonna play? Intelligent people. Which one are you gonna play? See, some of y'all asking us to play the pick 6 for $100 million instead of the pick 3 for $100 million. That's what some of y'all asking us to do. So yeah, it's blind faith in anybody, but the probabilities are so much greater. Y'all stop making this freaking argument. It's common sense, man. I know it ain't common, but I'm trying to help some of y'all out. Stop making that freaking argument. I done did dedicated streams on possibility versus probability. Stop making that raggedy argument. You will always have a better chance with Deshaun Watson over Tua. I don't care how you slice it. Stop. Man. And if I'm going to be 100% honest, Tua is like the pick 6 for $1 jackpot, and Watson is like the pick 3 for $100 million, if I'm going to be real honest. Man. This is a no-brainer, but not for the Dolphins. Exactly. It's a no-brainer, and people still trying to find a way to make it a brainer. I don't know, however you want to put it. Oh my gosh. Tua will improve, sure. And we will be 9-8. Yet miss the playoffs. Well, we don't know that. We could be 12-5 with Tua in his improvement. You know, we can be 4-something with his improvement. I mean, it can go either way. He can improve and we can be trash as a team. Same thing with Watson. We all run these risks, but again, the probability of that happening is a much greater probability of success with a franchise quarterback. That's simple, man. Anyway, man, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna end it right here because we're starting to go in a cycle of trying to show people, teach people common sense, man. TD, these are stupid because it's all of Alabama and Hawaii fans. I ain't gonna put that on all of them. Some of them understand. I hear people all the time say, I'm a huge Tua fan. I follow them in Alabama. I love them, but you're right, bro. I mean, and those people I really commend because I know it's hard. Because at the end of the day, I don't really be blaming these people. I just ask them to be honest. I don't have a problem with their obsession. I just have a problem with their ability to tear other people down to lift him up and make lies to try to justify. Like, just be honest. Tua may not look like it right now, but I believe he's going to be the greatest. Just say that and end it. Don't knock nobody down or degrade a scenario just because you love him. Just be honest and say that. That's it. But it ain't nothing wrong with you obsessing about him. If you're a fan of a guy, you're a fan of a guy. If you loved him in college and you followed him, you're supposed to look out for his success. You want him to succeed. You want him to be placed in the best situation possible. But say I wasn't a Dolphin fan until Tua came here, and that's why I wanted to be him. That's respectable. At least we know why you stand where you stand, but people try to hide that and make it and try to justify their point. Be honest. I don't care if the Dolphins get better with Watson. I want to see Tua succeed with the Dolphins because I love him. Just be honest. Watson may actually give them a better chance, but I still want to see Tua be the one to do it. But thank you. Be honest. That's respectable. We'd actually agree a lot. Oh, I hear you. I want Watson too. I want Watson, because I think he gives us a better chance. But, if we don't get him and we can or whatever, then we both hope that Tua ends up being the guy. That's how the conversation's supposed to go. But people are straight up lying. They're lying. They're trying to get you to dismiss facts just so you'll believe in something with the low probability. Y'all gonna see Tua gonna be an MVP candidate this year. What data baseline do you have to support that type of trajectory? What have you seen that makes you oh my gosh. Do me a favor, say, I want Tua to succeed so much and I believe in him so much. I think that he's going to be an MVP candidate this year. I know he's missing out. Like, be honest. That's all I'm saying. This TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Thanks for chilling out with me this evening on Sunday. Listen, man, that tampering period start tomorrow is going to be getting crazy. You're going to hear all kind of stuff. Miami, if we sticking with Tua, do your due diligence to get this man everything he need. No excuses. If you can't secure these people with bags to come to Miami, then you are wasting your time. You got to get everything so we can see if what you're visioning works. Get it done, Miami. Get it done. And if you see that process of getting it done don't look like it's going to happen, then abandon ship and go do what's right. It's your last chance. TDPHINSTALK. Before I'm out, we got a super chat. TD Greer said the door was closed on Watson. Ross never said the door was closed. Think about it. Yeah, I mean, I know all that, but again, actions louder than words on everything at this point. I'm going to see y'all later, man. Love y'all so much. I will see you soon. Peace. It's about to be a crazy 3 days. Here we go.